Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Norwegian. I'm Mats. Now, sadly, Yoshi, the green 2014 Tesla Model S, is sold. This is going to be one of my last days owning it. And I was thinking, why don't we go through a few things I like about it? There's a few things the old Model S's do that the new Model S's don't do, and can't for different reasons. It's now done 196,000 and they have 78 kilometers, so almost 200,000 kilometers. I've driven well past 13,000 and it's just been working every day, all day. No problems. 8 months owning old 10-year-old Model S. It's been good. Been a few niggles, but we had a road trip with it. It's 40% now, and if I do this, okay, I have a power limit, but it's still a quick car, and it's a comfortable car. Yes, it's a bit noisy, but once you get past that, all the complaints on the quality of the Tesla, yeah, sure, some of the details in here are a little bit cheap, and it makes a few squeaking noises here and there, but apart from that, it keeps up surprisingly well. And actually, I still got I got a software update even, which is, I mean, what? Wow, that's just impressive, really. It's not perfect, it's not flawless. Some of that's Tesla's own fault. Actually, it's mostly Tesla's own fault that it isn't flawless. Let's go and find a supercharger so I can enjoy my last free supercharging from Live Forever. and talk about the things I really like about this car that I will probably not see again, at least not with a Tesla. A few of the things that are a little bit silly. I don't really know exactly where to start. The looks, maybe. The Model S, I think, is a very, very elegant car. There's some lines that's just classical GT, just flowing. It's a very pretty car. Teslas aren't pretty cars, but the Model S actually are. And it's now a very old design. It's 12 years old and it still looks, I won't say modern, but fresh and distinct. Even though there's a bunch of Chinese, call them knockoffs, like for instance the BYD Han and a bunch of others. To a certain degree also the Mercedes EQE and so on, they have the same aerodynamically shaped design if you want. But I still think the S looks very, very good, very purposeful and muscular in a way. The frunk on the old S's are enormous. It's really huge, cavernous. And you don't ever get that again in any other car because they've shrunk over time. And if you want a new Model S, then you have to get a new frunk. It's very simple. Of course, you can say you can buy a Lucid, yes, but you can't get a Lucid because they're expensive. Yes. A big screen. I can get a new Model S. It is the same screen. Preferably, I would love to have the facelift Model S with the screen in the horizontal, which is even better. Speaking of the screen, it is a 10-year-old car. The screen is still holding up. It's a little bit of lag on it, but not much. And there's plenty of newer cars out there that has much worse screens than this. And the backup camera is still big and easy to use and just wonderful. Lights on the car, that's a negative. They're crap, dreadful, awful, hateful things. There's no light in them at all. There wasn't when the car was new, and there still isn't. That's why I have the LED bar. This thing, the sunroof, the opening sunroof, that's really great. I wish I would redesign it. I wish I could just tip it up and behind when I put it on the ventilation. Now it just lifts up the entire thing a little bit, so you still get the air going through there and making a racket instead of just flipping it up like this and just venting out that way. But hey, it's there, it works. You can open it up, and it's not that useful because above 70 kilometers an hour it makes a lot of noise, and I just close it again. But it works up to that. It's a nice thing to have. It's really wonderful, and it's huge. The lack of door pockets is just, yeah, it's a niggle, but come on. It took them, what, 4 years, 6 years, 4 or 5 years until the Model S, the Model 3 came out to actually get door pockets. But that's how it is. The old floor that I have here, it works fine actually. You can dump everything on it. It's quite spacious, wonderfully spacious. And there's a small shelf underneath the screen that's also nice. Apart from when you floor it in this thing, and it is a performance after all, it still goes, even though of course it's not as fast anymore. I mean, relatively speaking, a Model 3 long range is probably quicker because it has 4-wheel drive and it hooks up better. And everything you have in the small shelf under the screen ends up flying out and landing somewhere else. It's a bit silly, but hey, it's a storage space, and yeah, it's a lot of people have developed solutions for things not to fly out. The fact that you can adjust everything through the screen, almost everything through the screen, and through the steering wheel, with the fan speed, the temperature, the sunroof open and closing, the contact list you can go through, last calls, all that stuff. It's fabulous, really. And then also you have the trip computer just being there. It's also very nice. And also you have your instruments. They're so easy to read, so clear, and they give you a nice readout of how much energy you use when you're actually moving. And I seldom use more than 20-30 kilowatts to actually keep the car rolling once you get it up to speed. And then the newer cars has the visualization and awareness, whatever they call it. I don't really need that. Really, I don't give a... I know it works. I know it works. I don't need it to tell me it works. Just, whatever. I also like the green color. This, together with that one, the bronze car beside me, is one of few cars built in a very narrow window of time when Tesla did experiment with different colors. You have the bronze, the brown, and the green. They will probably never be repeated again. I must say, this, it has 3 or 4 knocks on it, on the paint. After 200,000 kilometers in winter and stone and with salt, the roads, all that stuff. Paint, pretty good, decent condition, not that many not much scuffs at all. Interior conditioning here is a light tan interior. There's almost no fingerprints in the Alcantara roof. There's almost no scuffs or marks of use in it. It's really well kept and really well. It's just nice. That's why I bought it. I was surprised that this car with this mileage and that age, just really keeping up this well. Another thing I think is a bit silly is the cup holder solution is a bit stupid and faffy, actually. Free supercharging, it's wonderful. It's great. It's not why I bought the car, but hey, it's there, so why not use it? And that brings me on to the biggest negative of the car, because I can live with the noise and the wind noise and the slightly reduced range. That's been fine. Had it not been for the Tesla throttle of the old 85 battery packs, it charges at 42 kilowatts, which is because the battery was slightly cold. And then you can say, well, so what? So did your old rear-wheel drive LFP battery Model 3? That's true, yes. But if you preheated it, it charged at 170 kilowatt, the bang, and it charged at 25-30 minutes, you were off again at 80-90%. It was not a problem. This one charges, maybe you see 100, and then it falls, and then it charges at 70 kilowatts until you hit 60, and then it goes from there on out. It's 40 and 30 kilowatts. And now I'm spoiled with new cars and top charging speeds and Xpeng G9s and all that stuff. But still, this is because the 90 packs doesn't have this problem, the 70 packs doesn't have this problem, the 75 packs doesn't have this problem. It's just these. And I understand why Tesla did it in the beginning, but then they could have just reset it. These batteries are charging slow now. That you're not stressing the pack, that's for certain. So they're probably going to live forever. And then you have the manual charge port, which is, it's not a problem. It's just when this car was new, no one had an automated charge port. It didn't exist. And even now a handful of cars has it. So it's just, you get used to it. You close it when you're done. And with the CCS upgrade that this has, I guess almost, at least in Europe, almost all of Teslas have it by now. You can charge everywhere, and that upgrade is just really, really worth the money, and it's wonderful that Tesla fixes their old customers. That's brilliant. The seats, the first gen seats here, they came in for a lot of flack, and I personally think they're okay, but I must admit that after a few 2-3 hours in the chair, you feel a little bit in the back. At least I do. But let's see, speaking of charging and let's see efficiency. Yeah, over the 13,032 kilometers when I zeroed this car for the first time, the kilometers of it, it's accumulated 3,138 kilowatt hours and had an average consumption of 241 watt hours per kilometer. So, it's an old car, it has a massive motor and inverter at the back. It's not the most efficient, but it works. It gives you close to 300 kilometers in the winter if you drive carefully, and it gives you 350 kilometers in the summer probably, which is nice. The charge is a bit slow, but if that's not the problem, then these cars really, really are becoming very cheap now and worth checking out. Air conditioning has not been a problem, it works just fine. Ride and handling and comfort, it's, like I said, it's a performance. It's still a quick car, and the way it delivers the power, the four-wheel drive Teslas, they just grip and go, and they're really, really impressive in the way they handle their power. Even if it is almost unlimited, as in the Plaid, it just goes. There's no wheel spin, nothing, it just goes. A friend of mine has the P90, and that you can feel the rear-wheel drive scrabbling for power there. It really does, because that's a 85 with a new 90 pack, and it's a lot more power in that one, and it gets screaming tires, and it just tries to find grip. It's a really full-on experience. This is more relaxed. It's still quick. It's just more relaxed in the way it delivers its power, which is nice. It kind of suits the car. It's more of a GT car in a way, less of a rocket ship. And the drivetrain is still nice and sweet. And that's also another thing. This car is dead quiet when you drive it on the road in low speeds. Every other car around you, every other EV, because of rules and the regulations, they have to have a noise generator making some kind of UFO ghost sound. This isn't. It's just dead silent, and that's so sweet. There's no noise, nothing, except that you can just hear the tires slowly turning, and it sounds like a bauble and a bagatelle, and it is, but reminds you again why silence really is a comfort aspect. That, yeah. Voice control on this, it's a 10-year-old car. It's a 12-year-old design now. The first cars came out in 2012 in America. I can use voice control, I can send texts, I can respond to texts, I can navigate, I can do all these things with the native system with a very, very high degree of accuracy. No other car from this era can do this. No one, nothing. It just doesn't exist. I'm not even certain if you had CarPlay in 2014. I don't think you did. App. I can walk up to this car. Oh, I forgot the key. The key is still upstairs. Pick up the phone, punch the app, unlock the car, and put it in drive, and it goes. It's 10 years old. It has the connectivity. It has the software. And then I have a 2-year-old electric van from Peugeot, which you have to have a key. You have to stick it in an ignition and turn it around, and you have to wait for half a second until it dings and it's on. And it has an infotainment system with a tiny little screen, which is useless and slow to start up. And if it's hot outside, well, guess what? It just restarts because it can't cool itself. We've had 30 degrees, 40 degrees in the car sometimes. This thing just works. It's just, yeah. Say what you want about Tesla, but the software bit, there's still no one else that's even close to that. Sound system in this one, brilliant, really, really good. Well balanced, natural. You can play really loud without it crashing on you. There's a subwoofer in it. It's all really well. That's the nice thing about getting an old performance. You get all the equipment they can throw at you. I think really there we have it. Yeah. So that's how it's been owning a Model S. So that's how it's been owning a 10-year-old Model S. Has it been any problems? No, not particularly, really. Apart from the fact that the park sensors stopped working when I hooked up the LED bar. But hey, I can have a backup camera. I almost can see the front, so it's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's not been a problem. And the fact that it doesn't like to go abroad because I live close to Sweden, and when I go home from Sweden I have to reset the screen because it doesn't connect up properly and everything stops working. And it doesn't get contact with the app. When you reset the screen, you hold in the 2 scroll wheels, everything is fine and it goes back to being normal. So yeah. But hey, you learn to live with it. It's one of the few niggles. It's a connected car. It has Spotify, it has Tidal, it has all the other things. And it also have FM and DAB radio. Still, if I would swap the screen out for an MCU2, I would lose that, unless I have to pay for getting an antennas back, which is no, it's too expensive. It has a simple cruise control that's either on or off. Wonderful, and also the weighting of the control stalks here of the multi-stalk. For the wipers and the lights, and also the cruise control stalk. They're Mercedes stalks, and the way they're weighted, they have this heft about them, which is it's a really silly thing to get hung up in, but you notice it when you interact with them. That you know how much effort you have to give it, and then you know how it reacts. The controls are so light that you touch them by accident, and you start indicating somewhere, or you activate something. And these, they don't. They just have the most fantastic tactility to it. Which is a bit strange talking of tactility in a car that has almost no buttons, but that's how it is. And the buttons on the steering wheel, they're a bit cheap, but you know what? They're not that bad. Buttons in the new Volvo EX30, they're really bad. These are wonderful by comparison. And the rest of the interior quality, the material, they're Alcantara, the leather, it's fine. Some carbon fiber, even thrown in for good measure. So, and it's watertight. Yoshi's gonna be missed because he did a wonderful job. I've seen 3 of these green Model S's over the last 10 years. And of those 3, I've owned 1 of them. I would really like to know how many were made, because it can't have been that many because the production numbers back then were really low, and also quite a few of them have probably been scrapped since. So there you have it, everybody. Life with a 10-year-old electric car. Definitely worth checking out, and don't be afraid of them. Do your due diligence. It's a used car, so things can happen. They have their control arms and A-arms that are breaking, and it's a heavy car. The suspension components and rubber bushings and stuff, they need replacement from time to time. That's how it is. It is an old car. But they're cheap to buy now. They're relatively cheap to run, and parts prices from Tesla it's really rather good. I knew there was something I've forgotten. This is a comfort feature that I've never seen in any other Tesla, apart from Cybertruck has something similar, but it has something because it needs it. Listen to this. Now I unlock the car. The driver's door pops up by about this much. And you say, that's wonderful. It's a kind of welcome in thing. The Model X did something similar. Apart from that, was fully automated. I've spoken to the Tesla sellers and the Tesla service people. They've never heard of it. And I suspect they did this early in the Model S's life because someone had an idea that, let's just have a comfort aspect that when you get close to the car with the keys in it, they'll recognize it and they'll pop the door open for you. And that's wonderful, except for two things. One, as far as I've been trying to work out, there's nowhere in the controls that I can turn it off. Yes, you can turn off active entry or whatever they call it. That just keeps the car locked when I wonder about it. It's fine until you unlock the car. And you unlock the car, the door pops open again. So say you're doing stuff. You're walking to and from the car. It's raining. You come in from the car on that side. You walk to the car, you open the door, you do something, or you just walk past it with the keys in your pocket. The door pops open. And it's not like in the Model X. It doesn't go close. It isn't automatic. It just pops open a little bit. And then you get a message after 5 minutes or whatever it is. The door is open. And it's raining. Or whatever it is. Probably raining. You have to go down to close the door. And it's all wet. And you can't turn it off. There's one thing that it sounds fabulous because you can see the idea, you can see the engineering, thinking, this is a brilliant idea, let's do this. But no one else has done this before. And then you realize, okay, I can see why, but why can't I turn it off? Because it's really frustrating often. It's one of those things that's a brilliant idea on paper, but in practice it just doesn't really work. Now I just have to wait for a new car. It's in transit. I won't tell you what it is, but it is coming soon, hopefully. And also, I'll give you an update on the Porsche. It's been a far too long since we talked about it. But that's it, everybody. I do hope you liked the video. Do give it a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.